Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are LA.
The series at Fenway Park continues. The Angels last night made it 2 in a row against the Boston Red Sox. Tonight it is game number 3 of the 4-game series. Hi, everybody. From inside Fenway Park, we welcome you back to Angels baseball here on Fox Sports West, along with Mark Gubiza. I'm Victor Rojas, and last night we saw a dramatic win, if you will, in the 9th inning with 2 outs. Brendan Bosch started the rally for the Angels. Chris Iannetta capped it off, but again, talking about Brendan Bosch, talking about all the unsung heroes the Angels have had this year. Just add another one to the list.
Yeah, Victor, it's a lot of fun. 24 games over 500. It's been someone new every single night. And take a look at our AT&T U-verse rewind. You mentioned Brendan Bosch coming up with 2 outs in the 9th. Crushes the ball to center field. Rated the 420 sign. Ends up being a double. Ends up eventually scoring on the double by Chris Iannetta to be able to pull that one off last night against the Red Sox late in the 9th inning. Bullpen out and standing once again. But it's the role players that continue to come up big. Colin Cowgill's been outstanding in his role. C.J. Cron with 9 home runs. Grant Green, a walk-off hit. Efren Navarro, who's in the lineup tonight, has a walk-off hit. Has played in a number of positions and has played them very well. Good contact swinger. Every one of these guys have had an opportunity, Mike, so there's a lot of faith in them, and they definitely have produced.
Well, let's see what that offense can do tonight as Garrett Richards will be on the hill. And when we return here to Fenway Park, we'll talk a little bit more about Garrett and his fantastic season so far. Angels Baseball is brought to you by CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. By the Fiat 500 1957 edition. Return of the original. Visit FiatUSA.com to learn more. And by Sin City and Dame to Kill For. In theaters everywhere Friday. for Game 3 of this 4-game series, and it seems just like a couple of years ago, Jered Weaver was the young guy on this Angel staff, but now he's the guy that's mentoring all the youngster, including tonight's starter, Garrett Richards. Here's Weave on being the old guy.
To have the roles kind of flipped and switched around, it's been a little bit of a change for me. You know, I'm not a guy that likes to go up and talk to people a lot. I usually wait for them to come and talk to me because I don't want to step on any toes. But you know, it's been fun, man. This guy's you know, got electric stuff. He's starting to come into his own. You know, it's putting together a tremendous season, and it's fun to be to sit back and watch you know, him go about his work.
Garrett Richards, Clay Buchholz in Game 3 of the 4-game series. We're just about ready for baseball. It's Fenway. Sit back, relax. Lineups and first pitch when we return. This 4-game series between your Angels and the Boston Red Sox. The Angels have won the first 2 of the set, trying to make it 3 in a row, and more importantly, pick up a game in the standings. The Oakland Athletics have lost this afternoon to the New York Metropolitans, so they finish up that 2-game set as a split. So win tonight, the Angels would find themselves a game and a half up in the American League West, but they'll have to get through Clay Buchholz, whom stymied the Angels his last time out. Let's take a look at Mike Scioscia's starting 9 for the Angels. At 74 and 50 on the seats. We'll have Cole Calhoun leading things off in right field. Mike Trout will serve as the DH tonight. Albert Pujols at first. Josh Hamilton patrols center. Howie Kendrick at second. David Freese jumps up a spot in the order. He'll play third. Eric Kaibar drops down 1. He's at short. Chris Iannetta's been red hot. He's doing the catching, and Efren Navarro gets the start out at left field as he take on the 29-year-old Texas native by the name of Clay Buchholz.
Clay Buchholz, 5-7 this season. ERA just under 6. Fastballs 89-94. Cut fastball, curve, change, and split finger fastball. To be successful against Buchholz, don't overthink pitches. Just look for his fastball. Sometimes you'll chase that breaking ball out of the strike zone and pressure him early in the game. First 30 pitches, mentioned it before, 44 for 140 against him, including 8 home runs and 21 RBI against him early in the game. Pressure him, score some runs, and then add on later on.
Let's take a look at the defense for Boston. Behind him, Cespedes, Betts, and Nava in the outfield from left to right. Holt, Bogarts, Pedroia, and Johnson from third to first. And no Mike Napoli tonight.
And we saw
David Ross gets a start behind the plate.
We saw Kelly Johnson getting that start playing some third base yesterday, coming in from Middlebrooks, getting the start at first base. He's played 5 positions this season. All the infield positions and left field. Came over for the Yankees on July 31st there for his bat, but also plays a pretty solid first base.
Well, you mentioned Clay Buchholz and the success hitters have had against him early on, and unfortunately for the Angels, they didn't really get to him a whole lot early on. They did score 2 runs in the first inning, but did not tack on any runs after that, and then all of a sudden he settled down in what turned out to be an 8-inning performance. 3 runs, 6 hits, 8 strikeouts, 2 walks. As a matter of fact, was leading up until he gave up the Mike Trout home run in the 8th inning of that ball game. And then he was done after that. So he's a guy that has struggled this year, particularly here at home, but back-to-back, pretty good start. 1 against the Angels, 1 against the Astros here.
His ERA here at Fenway Park is at exactly 7. 2-4 mark at home for Buchholz.
Rosenbach being brought out for Buchholz. As Cole Calhoun is just about ready to lead things off. Cole hitting .294, 13 home runs and 41 runs batted in. Had himself a 1-for-5 game yesterday, an RBI single in the 3rd inning, but made a spectacular play in right field, robbing Brock Holt of a 3-run home run. First one tonight, in for a strike. Crew chief Mike Winters calling the balls and strikes tonight. Andy Fletcher at first, Mike Myslinski at second, and Tom Woodring over at third base. 5-7 record for Clay Buchholz at a 5.79 ERA on the year. No balls, 2 strikes.
2 fastballs in a row for Buchholz against Calhoun.
21st start of the year for Buchholz. Guy that is known to really work slowly, but in that game at the Big A, picked up the pace a little bit. Called strike 3. 3 pitches, 1 out here to start the ball game.
And the Hyundai key to this game, my all-time favorite bands, Boston. Don't look back. Don't regret when you get a fastball to do some damage to it. Like Trout, we've seen lately, though, when he sees that fastball first pitch early in the counts, he has been jumping on that. If he gets one, crush one now.
There's Trout hitting .291 with 27 home runs and 88 runs batted in. 1 for 4 game yesterday, picking up his 6th triple. Also scored a run in a multi-hit game 2 nights ago in the opening game of the series. Serving as a DH. Off the plate, it's 2 balls, no strikes. Now we'll see how pitchers start attacking Trout. And then he's starting to swing the bat a little bit, get kind of back into the groove. So a lot of pitches in off the plate. Going back outside. This one missed it. Looked like it caught the strike zone. It was 3-0.
Yeah, that's a good movement on a 2-seam fastball after back-to-back 4-seam fastballs off the outside corner. 3-0 count for Trout.
He'll take a strike. Albert Pujols on deck. Cole striking out, looking to start off the ball game. David Ross back outside, and that's a strike on the corner. Full count.
There's certainly a lot of fastballs early on for Buchholz. All 8 pitches have been fastballs, whether it's a 4-seam or 2-seam fastball.
And again, Ross set up outside. Breaking ball. Tap foul. Reset and do it again. Pretty stoked young man right there.
Big smile and high fives. Pretty fun to get a foul ball hit by Mike Trout your way.
Another 3-2. And he chases. 2 down.
Like a cut fastball off the plate.
So 2 outs, bases clear, and Albert now at the plate. 274 is the batting average for Albert. Multi-hit game for him last night, 2 for 3. Couple of singles, a run batted in. Also picked up a walk. Drives this one out to right field. Daniel Nava's there, and the Angels go down in order. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Holt, Pedroia, and Ortiz to face Jered Richards with no score. Farrell starting 9 for the Red Sox. They stand at 56 and 69 on the season. Brock Holt will lead things off. He's playing third tonight. And Dustin Pedroia, David Ortiz, Joanna Cespedes back in the lineup in left. Daniel Nava in right. Kelly Johnson at first. Bogarts and Betts short center respectively. And Ross activated off the disabled list will bat 9th and do the catching. Taking on Jered Richards. comes in looking for win number 14.
Yeah, he's been fantastic this season. Opponents only hit 195 against Jered Richards, 167 innings pitched. Keith Richards against this Red Sox lineup here in Fenway. Repeat mechanics. You know those innings are piling up. If you repeat your mechanics, hit your spots, could be effective, and use that sinker often tonight.
First one to Holt is downstairs. Jered faced the Red Sox on the 9th. 6 of the 3rd, gave up 3 runs, 1 earned, 3 hits, 5 strikeouts, and 2 walks. One ball, 1 strike on Brock Holt, who had his 12-game hitting streak snapped last night. And 0 for 3. Did have a sac fly and a sacrifice bunt. 297 average, 3 home runs, 27 runs batted, and he's played 7 different positions for the Red Sox this year. 2-1. Last start for Jered was at Texas. 7 1/3, 2 runs, 7 hits, 7 strikeouts, and no walks. 106 pitches. 3-1 now.
Certainly good velocity on the fastball early on for Richards, 97, 98.
Full count. For Jered, 3rd career game in this ballpark, first big league start. He delivers a 3-2. Oh, lines one out to center field. Here comes Josh Hamilton, slides and makes the catch for the first down. Good jump by Josh Hamilton. We'll take a look at the Angels defensively. Upper Navarro left, Josh at center, Cole Calhoun in right. The infield has David Freese, Eric Ibar, Howie Kendrick, and Albert Pujols from 3rd to 1st, with Chris Seinetta behind the plate.
And with Josh in center throughout the inning, Upper Navarro gets a start in left field, his first game in left field at Fenway Park. Not an easy position to play. 10th overall start in left field for the first baseman, who's been very solid in the outfield with 1 outfield assist and 1 E in left field this season.
Pedroia looks at strike 1.
You mentioned that good jump by Josh Hamilton. Had a conversation with him the other day about his preference of what position to play in the outfield. He likes to read off the bat much better in center field as compared to even left or right.
0-2.
A 90-mile-an-hour slider.
Just like you used to throw him.
It was from 40 feet, maybe.
Oh, 2 count on the Red Sox second baseman, hitting .284 this year. Slider to dirt, gets away. 1-2. Enjoys it safely in 15 of his last 18 games. Another mild night here in Boston. Great weather. Supposed to have a cloudy day. Chance of showers late tomorrow. Night game tomorrow. Enjoy the skies. This one found. Same start time before the Angels head back west to take on the Oakland A's on Friday. Oakland will be off tomorrow. The 1-2. Down low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Last appearance for Jered in this ballpark, June 8th of last year. I was in relief, an inning and 2/3. Gave up 3 runs on 6 hits. Pedroia pulls one to 3rd. One hopper off of Freese, and it'll end up in shallow left field. So Pedroia is on board.
Ball was hit well. Troy got a fastball down and in. 1 hopper. Hits off the glove and shoulder area of David Freese.
Pedroia gets credit for base hit. That'll bring up David Ortiz.
Remember, Pedroia's one that broke up Jered Richards' no-hitter that last time out against the Red Sox in the 7th inning.
Ortiz, the DH, at .256 average. Hit his 29th home run last night. That was the first inning. 2 for 3 for Ortiz. Back-to-back multi-hit nights. Ortiz taking the whole way, and it's 2 balls, no strikes. Seven straight 30-homer campaigns for David Ortiz, 30 or more home runs. He's at 29 now, so looking to make it 8. That would tie him with Ted Williams for most in club history.
A lot of big-time home runs, too, for Ortiz to add his career here wearing a Red Sox uniform.
Broken bat, flare out to right. That'll get down for a hit. Pedroia will round second. He'll head to third. The throw from Cole is cut off by Freese. He throws back to first, and Ortiz, maybe he spiked Albert a little bit there. Albert got that right foot, or tried to get that right foot out of the way. So back-to-back hits puts runners at the corners here with 1 out of the first.
Yeah, he jammed them on this pitch and broke the bat. With that movement, and on the inner part of the bat, but still strong enough to fight that one in the right field in front of Cole Calhoun. And Freese cuts it off and tries to throw quickly back to Ortiz. He's able to get back in with a slide at first base.
So Cespedes steps up. Did get into the game last night as a pinch hitter in the 9th inning and promptly singled to start off that 9th against Houston Street. But eventually stranded in scoring position. .252 average, 20 home runs, 79 RBIs as he takes low. Two no down. Command not quite there yet for Garrett. For the most part, these guys will wait you out. Cespedes doesn't necessarily come from that mold, but he is ahead of the count here, 2-0.
And now he can center in on his own against you, although he has grounded into 10 double plays.
Shoots this one out to right. Cole moving over is there. Pedroia looks like he wants to tag, does so. Here comes a throw to the plate, and it's up the line, 1-0 Boston. Sac fly for Cespedes, 80th run batted in.
Long way to go for Cole. We've got to round the baseball well to get in good throwing position. And then the firm throw towards the plate, the first base side of the plate. And because you have to give that clear pass the home plate to the runner, Iannetta had to come up away from the plate. And Pedroia ends up scoring the first run of the game.
So 2 outs, Ortiz at first, and here's Daniel Nava, the right fielder. Angels will play from behind tonight. Again, ball 1. Now a .263 hitter this year. A couple of home runs, 19 RBIs. 1 for 3 last night. That evens a count. Undrafted free agent. Signed by Boston after playing 1 year independent ball. 1-2. 22 pitches thrown in this first inning for Jered. Base hit by Pedroia that went off of Freeze, and Ortiz a broken bat single up to right field. Moved Pedroia to third. Cespedes took the sac fly. Trying to limit the damage here. This one pulled to the right side, base hit. Hanging breaking ball. And it's the third hit allowed by Richards here in the first inning. Ortiz advances to second.
When we think about that, there's not many games in which he's given up that many hits in a row. There's 119 on the season and 167 innings pitched for Richards. Well, what we've seen from Jered as he's maturing as a pitcher, when he has one of these innings in which he's made some mistakes, he comes back well from it, doesn't let it bother him.
So now it is Kelly Johnson's turn. First baseman tonight, no Mike Napoli. 0-1. Johnson came into the game yesterday as a pinch runner for Will Middlebrooks, who left the game with a right leg injury. Johnson ended up going 0 for 2. Finished the game playing third. Ortiz takes off. It's a double steal. The throw goes down to second, and they got him. Daniel Nava doesn't believe so. Mike Muchlinski making the call, and John Farrell at least is going to come out and have a conversation here.
And this inning won't be over quite yet, just in case John Farrell wants to challenge his call. High throw, quick tag, looked like he got the tag on the leg before the foot hit the base.
John Farrell still looking into the dugout, trying to get the sign, whether or not they're going to review it or not. And they're not. So it is the third out. Good throw by Chris Iannetta. Bottom of the first is in the books. Boston strikes for a run on 3 hits. We'll head to the second. They lead at 1-0. To nothing. Hamilton, Kendrick, and Freeze coming up to face Clay Buchholz, who retired the Angels in order with a couple of strikeouts in the first. Josh looks at a strike. Hamilton getting to start tonight out in center field. Last night 0 for 3, was hit by a pitch. A .263 average, 8 home runs, 35 runs batted in. They overshift on him. Off speed outside. And it is 1-1.
Hamilton has struggled against Buchholz in his career. Just 2 for 22.
One ball, 2 strikes. 6th game this year that Hamilton's gotten to start out at center. Nothing wrong with Trout, but just an opportunity to get him off his feet as a DH.
Remember that last game for Buchholz against Hamilton? He threw him a lot of fastballs. Prior to that, a lot of changeups and slow curveballs.
This one down a left field line, but slicing out of play. Get a fastball in. Count remains at 2-2. Kendrick on deck. Fouled back, and that got Ross.
And it found him pretty good off the body. If there was a cut fastball, just the bottom part of the bat, and then ricochets right off of Ross.
Right off the knee. Just off the disabled list today. He's on there with the plantar fasciitis. Christian Vasquez, the guy's been playing quite a bit lately. Night off. This one's pulled right to Johnson, the first baseman. Out in front. Hamilton lines out for the first out. As Howie steps to play, we'll take a look at our standings. The American League West, presented by Kia. Mentioned Oakland lost, Seattle lost as well. They lost to the Philadelphia Phillies earlier today. Oakland lost 8-5 to the New York Mets. The Angels with an opportunity to pick up a game on both.
Yeah, Seattle losing 2 of 3 against the Phillies in Philadelphia.
Howie skies one to right. 2 down. So 5 up, 5 down for Clay Buchholz to start off this ball game. And it's David Freese now coming to the plate.
A lot of strikes so far for Buchholz. He's thrown 19 pitches, 14 strikes.
Freese last night picked up his first triple of the season. Going 1 for 4. 259 batting average, 6 home runs, 40 RBIs. It's at 350 since July 31st. Breaking ball. Back-to-back breaking balls. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's a little bit better pace for Buchholz. Usually takes a long time in between pitches. Saw it last game, seeing it here early in this game.
This one line to center, a base hit. A 2-out single, first base run of the night for the Angels. Keeps the inning going for Eric Ibar.
Fastball out over the plate. That good approach once again for Freese, thinking the middle part of the field. Line drive right over Buchholz's head and into center field for a base hit. What did Freese hit that ball well to center field last night? The Betts ran down Would have been a home run. Went down about a 420 sign.
A couple of baseballs out that way. Freeze. And Jered Bosch with the double. Ninth. 1-0 on Eric. Pedroia hit one out to the wall yesterday in center. Pujols hit one out toward the warning track out that way.
There were some great defensive plays made in the game last night by both sides.
Ibar hitting .266. 1 for 4 game yesterday. He's also robbed by Pedroia in his 4th inning at bat on a liner. Nice play by the Red Sox second baseman. This one's pulled right to Pedroia. The Angels are done here in the second. We'll head to the bottom of the inning. Still 1-0 Boston. The second, Kelly Johnson, Xander Bogaerts, and Mookie Betts, 6, 7, and 8 due up for Boston. Garrett threw 25 pitches in that first inning. Kelly Johnson was at the plate when Nava was thrown out trying to steal second on the back end of a double steal. As he shoots this one through the left side, and it's a leadoff single. 4th hit allowed by Garrett. Coming up later in the game, we'll bring you the AT&T fan photo of the game, but we need your help. Tweet us your photo using hashtag WestFanPhoto, and it could be shown in an upcoming broadcast.
Well, so far, some pretty good swings from the Red Sox against Richards. Made some adjustments since that last game against Boston back on August 9th.
There's Bogaerts, the shortstop. A .224 batting average for him. 0 for 3 night last time, but did walk and score a run. Ball, no strikes. 2 balls, no strikes.
Well, Jered Richards, 195 batting average coming into this game, which is tied for the ALE with King Felix. Only 3 Angel starters have ever allowed a lower average. Noel Ryan, Andy Messersmith, and Dean Chance. Select company for Jered Richards.
Delivered a strike to Bogaerts, and it's 2-1. That's why it's surprising to see 4 hits already for an inning plus for Garrett, or against Garrett.
Personally, I think you're going to see from Jered, he's going to end up throwing more curveballs during the course of this game.
A breaking ball. And it blocks it, but Johnson didn't get a very good read over at first base.
And that's the hard slider. Eventually, that, by me saying more curveballs, a little bit different as far as the speed in the curveball and slider and fastball. Curveball is going to be 78 to 82 range for Richards. Sliders 87 to 90. His fastballs 96 to 98. So you got a good differential between his curveball and his fastball.
And a walk. So the first 2 have reached here to start the second on a single and a base off balls. And here comes Mike Butcher for his first visit of the night. This hasn't really been able to command the fastball.
He's having a lot of late movement on it, but it's starting on the corners and running off the corner. It's very difficult for an umpire to call that a strike. He's going to, not that you ever want to necessarily try to do that, but you're going to have to use more of the plate and trust movement, whether it's a cut fastball or 2-seam sinking fastball. That way you give an umpire an opportunity to call some strikes.
Mike Winters, the home plate umpire, breaking up the meeting. Now you have the speedy Mookie Betts at the plate. .250 in the big leagues this year with a home run and 2 runs batted in. His 3 doubles. Picked one up yesterday in his first at bat against Jered Weaver. Ended up going 1 for 4. Freeze playing in a little bit over third. Pujols in on the grass at first. Swings the first one and pops it up. Infield fly. It's a foul ball caught by Albert.
So that's 3 pop-ups in the last 2 games to first base for Betts.
Like that. First 2 guys reach, and all of a sudden you get a 1-pitch out.
Especially in that 1-pitch out, it's not a bunt that advances both base runners.
Here's David Ross, the catcher, fresh off the DL, a 192 average this year, 6 home runs, 12 runs batted in for the 37-year-old veteran. Started his big league career back in 2002 as a member of the Dodgers. Pittsburgh, Padres, Reds, Red Sox, then went to Atlanta, then back to Boston. This is his 2nd season with Boston. Consecutive seasons, 3rd overall. Late on that one. 1-1.
Boy, coming back from the disabled list and have to try to deal with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball, and that's not a straight 98 either. It's cutting.
One and 2. Leadoff single for Kelly Johnson and a walk. Xander Bogaerts. 1 out, 2 on. Ross lines with a left to base hit. Johnson being waved in. The throw from Efren Navarro is up the line. It's 2-0 Boston. A little surprised to see Iannetta kind of walk up the line. That ball tailed back toward him. Would have been interesting to see if the ball had kind of been right on target. Made an interesting play at the plate.
Yeah, charged well and thrown accurately by Efren Navarro. Because you can play a shallow left. Because of that clear path as a catcher, you're still trying to adjust to the rules also.
A 1-2 count too on Ross. He gave up the RBI single. Ross picks up his 13th run batted in. 5 hits now allowed. And it's back to the top of the order here in Brock Holt. 2 on and 1 out. Holt lined 1 out to center field his first time up. 1 ball, no strikes. 12-game hitting streak, longest by a Red Sox player this year. Career high for him.
One thing we've seen from Richards in this game, a lot of high strikes. And you would think he'd be effective upstairs with his fastball velocity, but he's much better when he's downstairs around the knee level because he has better sink, better life on his fastball downstairs as compared to up in the strike zone.
And we really haven't yet to see that curveball you were talking about. Late on that one. Laced into the seats.
You could see the difference in a hitter's swing against Richards when the fastball is down. With that movement off the end of the bat, but when it's elevated, you're just kind of trying to shorten up your swing and make contact, and that velocity, there's a chance it's going to go off that bat well.
Pulled over to first. Pujols flips around to Ibar for 1. No relay back. A throw to third base and safe at third. Bogarts had turned the corner at third base.
Looks like Richards may have gotten hurt.
Uh-oh. Scary sight to say the least with Jered. The season that he has had this year.
That's the most difficult thing in baseball for a pitcher is a 3-6-1 double play when you cover the base because you're trying to pick up the throw and still try to find the base. And if you land awkwardly, you're going to catch a corner of the base. He's going that straight path towards the base. And there is his cleat got caught, his knee bent as he got towards the base. Again, he's trying to find the base, trying to be able to pick up the throw potentially from Eric Ibar. And it's the glove side knee. His left knee.
Entire training staff for the Angels now hovered around Jered.
A lot of concern on his teammates, even Boston Red Sox's fraternity of baseball players looking on.
like there's a medical cart entering the field down the left field line on the warning track. Again, Jered on a bouncer to Pujols, covering at first base. They weren't necessarily going to turn a double play because of the speed of Brock Holt, but in the pitcher's mind, you're playing that out as if there is a potential double play.
Yeah, you're going as fast as you can towards that base. It's not going up the line. You're going a shorter, more direct line towards the base, and you're trying to see the throw potentially coming your way. You're not necessarily paying attention when you get your cleats caught in the dirt like that and still trying to find the base. And sometimes that will happen as far as turning your knee.
Entire defensive unit just hovered around first base right now.
I don't know how much Jered means to them as a teammate and as a pitcher on this staff.
Very little movement right now on the field there with Jered.
Adam Neville is trying to relax Jered as much as possible.
An immense pain the minute he felt whatever it was that he felt. That left knee buckled near the bag at first base.
See him describing the area on his right leg, what's going on his left leg. One of those tough plays when you're covering the base as a pitcher. The play you work on a line in spring training, because it's a very difficult one. It's a bang play when you're covering the base, trying to find it after you deliver the baseball. The first baseman throws a second, and your shortstop is going to cover the base and try to make that throw to you, and you're still trying to find the base. It's not an easy thing, especially when you have the shortstop with a good throwing arm going to throw it in your direction. At least you anticipate that throw in your direction.
Gentleman down there in street clothes now, kind of talking with Jered, and I venture a guess someone from the Red Sox medical staff. As I mentioned, Adam Neville, Rick Smith, Bernard Lee, TJ Harrington, medical and strength conditioning, physical therapist, all down there along with his teammates.
I don't remember ever during the course of my career where you saw a play like that where a pitcher covering the base like that and you twist the knee like he did. You see ankles, especially when you step on the corner of the base wrong, but that knee, especially when he planted, got his cleat caught in the dirt, and then the turning of the knee. Jered Weaver looking on, the guy that's mentored Garrett Richards so often, so much, has been a big part of the reason why he's been as good as he's been this year, Garrett. A lot of concern amongst the teammates.
Horrible sight, of course, to see anyone be carted off the field. But the year that Jered has had an integral part of this ball club this season, franchise. And, I hope everything turns out for the best. But not a pretty sight. And to see that young man being taken off the field in a stretcher.
Yeah, what he has progressed this season, been arguably the most dominant outside of King Felix pitcher in the American League. Now Mike Social will have to go down and bring someone in as much time as possible to warm up.
Looks like Corey Rasmus had started to play catch in the bullpen just in case. So Corey will come in now.
Mike Trout, Jered Richards' roommate, best friend.
We're going to step away for a second. We're in the second inning with the Angels trailing at 2-0. Better news for you, aside from the fact that the Angels are trailing this game, which is irrelevant at this point. The Angels have lost their starting pitcher, Jered Richards, to an apparent left knee injury, carted off the field. And Corey Rasmus now takes over on the mound to try to finish off the second inning.
Boy, it's tough too. We both have built a really strong relationship with Jered Richards and how much he's meant to this club and how hard he has worked. Hopefully the news will be good, but didn't look good at that point going towards that base. But you just hope for the best for Jered Richards.
As resume play here, runners at first and third and 2 outs. Bogart's the base runner at third, Holt at first. This is Pedroia at the plate. And the first one in for a strike. Dustin a base hit that one-hop David Freese in the first inning. Eventually scored the first run. Rasmus pitching in his 22nd big league game this year. 0-1 on the corner, 0-2. Rasmus done a nice job of giving Mike Socha a couple of innings here and there.
And he's really done an amazing job put in tough situations. 4 pitches throwing for strikes. Slider you saw there. He's got a good curveball, very solid changeup, good fastball too.
Holt takes off, and this one's popped up behind the plate. Ionetta will give it a look, but it's onto the netting behind the plate.
And it's good to see that Rasmus has a feel for his breaking pitch already, because when you're thrown into warming up on the game mound, you always feel the tension from the people in the stands. You want to hurry up and be ready. So you don't necessarily have a real good feel for your breaking pitches early on as you're getting loose on the game mound.
Oh, 2 got him. Down goes Pedroia. And the bottom of the second is in the books. Boston makes it 2-0 as we head to the top of the third. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Los Angeles Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. The Angels have Ionetta, Navarro, and Calhoun due up. I didn't count the pitches, but I'd imagine that Clay Buchholz's allowed to throw a couple of extra warm-up pitches, considering the break that we had at the bottom of the second with Garrett Richards' injury. And the minute we get any update at all, we will certainly pass it along to you listening at home. Chris Ionetta takes upstairs. There's Bernard Lee, the staff, training staff for the Angels, talking with Soch. Amazing how quickly something becomes so irrelevant when someone you spend so much time with on a daily basis for a span of 6-7 months, that all of a sudden you see them go down and they're helpless. Everything else just becomes meaningless. But you got to kind of refocus and think about this game. You got to play on.
Such a good kid. Now it's up to the fellas to regroup at this point. Concern himself with some good at bats, and Corey Rasmus to be able to get deep in the game coming out of the bullpen.
1-2, a swing and a miss on the off-speed pitch. One down, third strikeout for Buchholz. We'll bring up Efren Navarro. Now, what we have seen, as we see the strikeout pitch of Ida, throughout the course of the season, 124 games played so far. A number of times we've seen guys pick up a teammate here and there, whether it's with a big at-bat, a big pitching performance, a big relief outing. And now you talk about having to come together. And
that was the theme of our opening tonight. How the other players have stepped forward, including this one here and Efren Navarro.
Efren looks at a strike. Navarro, 260 average, getting the start in left field tonight. 1 home run, 10 runs batted in. There's 9 doubles. Efren got the start at first base in game 1 of the series. Went 0 for 4. So he rolls over this one. Droy has got it. 2 outs. The Angels have just not been able to soft play Buchholz. This being his second start against the Angels this year. One batter has reached, and that was David Freese on a 2-out single in the first.
Keep in mind, coming into this game, his ERA for the season is 5.79. You're going to keep it close. There's still always doubt in your mind when you've struggled like Buchholz has this season. You're going to stay close and then get some big hits here as the game progresses.
Cole struck out looking to start off the ball game. He's 0 for 1. Shoots this one to short. Bogarts has it, and the Angels go down in order. We'll head to the bottom of the third with Boston still on top. Lead it 2-0 as we start the bottom of the third. David Ortiz, Yoenis Cespedes, and Daniel Nava, 3, 4, and 5 for the Sox. Faced Corey Rasmus, who came in and struck out Dustin Pedroia to finish off the second inning. Ortiz with a broken bat single to right. The first is 1 for 1. Launches one out to deep right. Cole is going to watch this one sail into the bullpen, and it's 3-0 Red Sox. 30th home run of the season for David Ortiz.
Ortiz was ready, geared up for that pitch. Much down the heart of the plate and down. Right in the middle of the plate, and Big Papi doesn't miss that pitch all that often. He's done it very consistently throughout his career. 93 RBI on the season for Ortiz.
So Cespedes steps to the plate with the bases clear. 3-0 Boston now. And Rasmus delivers a strike. Cespedes with a sac fly in the first inning, netting him his 80th run batted in. Home run by Boston, the 6th hit for the Red Sox. This one over to second. Howie has it. One down.
Chased the pitch off the outside corner. Off the end of the bag, ground ball to Howie.
The Angels will need some length as far as innings from Corey Rasmus. Bullpen has been used quite a bit through the series in Texas. The first 2 games here, with C.J. Wilson getting knocked out in the 6th inning on Monday. The Angels had to use 4 relievers. Last night, Weaver 5 1/3 as well. And 4 relievers later picked up the victory. Breaking ball, and Nava is in for a strike, so you need Corey to work probably 3 innings or thereabouts, if not more. His longest career outing is 3 innings. That was last year against the Mets. Nava hits one to short. High bar bombs it. It should have been out number 2. Instead, it's a man on with 1 out.
Going the other way, Nava played in an outfield grass as he's trying to get himself into a position where he can plant the foot, throw over the first base. Ball slips out of his glove.
Eighth error of the year for Eric Highbarn. So man on, 1 away. Here's Kelly Johnson. 3 infielders on the right side. Johnson singled leading off the second through the left side as he shows bunt, takes a strike. Didn't miss by much. If it missed at all, it's 1-1.
Wicket got a lot of the plate, actually.
A much tighter strike show tonight with Mike Winters behind the plate compared to Tom Woodring last night. One and 2. Good off-speed pitch. Leadoff home run for David Ortiz to make it 3-0 Boston here in the 3rd. Pulled over and diving, stopped by Pujols. Fires to second for 1. Freeze gets the force out. 2 down. Nice play by Albert.
Boy, Albert showing some great range and mobility at first base this season. Another one of those potential 3-6-1 double plays as Rasmus had to cover the base. Good reaction, good dive. Strong throw. David Freese.
So Johnson replaces Nava at first base. 2 outs down. Here's Xander Bogaerts. Drew a walk in the second. Good breaking ball. It's 0-1.
Corporate Rasmus to get a lot of these quick early count outs. It's difficult to do against the Red Sox, who like to work counts well.
Count even up at 1-1. The Angels in the fourth have Trout, Pujols, Hamilton due up. Trying to figure out Clay Buchholz. Buchholz has faced 10 batters. One man has reached. That was the single by Freese in the second. Two balls, one strike. Mentioned earlier, Oakland lost today to the Mets. Seattle lost to the Phillies. An opportunity for the Angels to pick up a game on both. They'll have to dig out from under this 3-0 deficit. Johnson takes off. Bogaerts pops it up. Shallow left. Navarro broke back. Now comes in. And the inning is over. Leadoff home run for David Ortiz, his 30th of the year, gives Boston a 3-0 lead as we head to the fourth. And now it's time for the Coors Light Cold Hard Facts with Mike Trout coming to the plate.
Mike Trout has been fabulous at Fenway. He's hit safe in all 8 career games at Boston. A .444 career hitter here with 16 total hits, including in there 6 RBI.
Trout, a strikeout victim his first time up, takes outside, and that's kind of how Buchholz started off that plate appearance against Trout in the first. Fell behind 3-0 on the pitches away. Eventually got him on a 3-2 off-speed pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. 3 strikeouts, no walks, 1 hit for the Red Sox right-hander. Breaking pitch out towards center field. Betts moving back on it, stepping onto the track, makes the catch for the first down of the 4th.
Stayed back pretty well on a slow breaking ball. Just out in front enough to keep it in the yard for Trout. That's how strong he is. Fooled a little bit, but still hit that ball well to the warning track in center field.
Albert lined out to Nava at right field in the first inning. Takes. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Boston playing 3 infielders on the left side. Now Pedroia moves. He's headed back to the left side. He was almost directly behind the bag at second. Now moving over. A 2-1 count with Hamilton on deck. Three solo runs for Boston in the first 3 frames. Breaking ball in there, 2-2. After just joining us, Jered Richards taken off the field on a stretcher in the 2nd inning. Apparent leg injury. We don't know any more than that. 2-2. Off speed, line to left field. Cespedes is there and makes the catch. I wonder if that ball got hung up with the lights.
It looked like it was hit right on the line like that. I think the lights up around our range, right into it for Cespedes to be able to recover to catch that rocket by Albert Pujols. You see him looking up towards where the bank of lights would be. And reacted last second to be able to catch that ball.
Hamilton drives one out to left field. Cespedes will play this one off the wall. And actually it's Betts because of the ricochet, and Josh into second with a 2-out double, his 18th of the year.
Well, it's good to see Josh going the other way and hit the ball that firm to left center field. About it yesterday with Don Baylor about that toe tap and then go through the baseball. Toe tap and then through the baseball, hit it well the other way. The head was still and looking to drive the ball that way. Very impressive swing for Josh Hamilton. The barrel of the bat and off the green monster left center field. 18th double of the season.
Man in scoring position for the first time tonight for the Angels. Here's how he takes down low. Kendrick a fly ball to right field in the 2nd. I think he's 0 for 1. Bouncer back up the middle. That will sneak through. Hamilton will be waved in. It's an RBI single for Kendrick. Puts the Angels on the board. It's 3-1 Boston.
It's good to see how he used that middle of the field. One thing he's kind of got away from the first couple of games, a lot of ground balls to short and third, but this time Howie up the middle, picking up his 52nd RBI, scoring Josh Hamilton.
And Howie coming to this ballgame hitting .299 with the man in scoring position. And now Freese will bat. He singled with 2 outs in the second. So he's 1 for 1. On the corner for strike. Quick throw to first. Kendrick back. That RBI, Kendrick is now caught up to Eric Ibar. Both now at 52 runs batted in. Nice block by Ross. That breaking ball bounced about 1.5 feet in front of the plate.
Nice job as far as squaring up his body, keeping his shoulders level, and using the chest protector to keep that baseball in front of him. Also, always known as a very solid defender behind the plate.
A 1-ball, 1-strike count. Freese drives one out to center field. Betts is there. And it's the 3rd out of the inning. The Angels do get a run on back-to-back hits. Hamilton and Kendrick as we head to the bottom of the 4th. 3-1 Boston. I want to remind you that Fox Sports Supports is proud to support Stand Up to Cancer's 4th annual star-studded telecast. Catch the fundraiser featuring music performances and stars from film, TV, and sports in a momentous and inspiring stand against cancer on September 5th at 8 Eastern on Fox Sports 2. 8-9-1 for Boston here in the 4th inning. Betts, Ross, and Holt. First one upstairs, Mookie Betts popped out to Albert Pujols in the second. Third stint with Boston this year, called up prior to Monday's game. It's a count at 1-1.
Well, you just feel if Corey Rasmus could put up a 0-2 here the next couple of innings, the way the Angels swung the bats last inning against Buchholz, a real good chance to come back and take the lead at some point in this game.
One and two. 21 pitches thrown by Corey. Gone an inning and a third so far. This one's skied to right center. Hamilton coming in, so is Cole Calhoun, but Josh taking charge. One down. Up steps David Ross. He made it 2-0 in the second inning with his base hit to left field. He's 1 for 1. 13th run batted in. A little bit high. Rasmus now behind in the count on Ross.
Chased a high fastball. Overly aggressive on a 2-0 fastball count.
Could certainly use a quick inning. Now back to the right. Evens a count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Top of the order, Brock Holt on deck. Jamming again.
Certainly good life on his fastball, especially when he's running upstairs at 92.
A full count. Angels and Red Sox will play one more tomorrow night. 4:10 Pacific time start. And jump on the plane, head to the West Coast. Start a 3-game series against Oakland on Friday night at the Coliseum. Back home on Monday against the Marlins. 3-2. Little check swing, liner over to Ibar. 2 outs.
Thought he might have to go back and jump up, and he actually came in on the baseball.
First time tonight, the first two batters have been retired to start an inning. And now it's Brock Holt. Holt the fly ball to center field, more of a line drive, and then reach on that fielder's choice on the ball that was hit to Albert. That was the play in which Garrett Richards went down near the bag at second base, or pardon me, in the second inning. Want to know? Looks like Rasmus wants to do baseball. I know, I'm sure folks wondering what the injury is and how's Garrett doing. All of that stuff is information that gets passed along to us from the organization. So regardless of what someone may or may not put out there, whether it's Garrett or anybody else, we won't pass along anything until it comes from the organization. And when we do, we certainly will. Just keep Garrett in your thoughts. There's no doubt about that. It was in pain.
No question.
Broken bat liner, and the inning is over. A 1-2-3 frame as we head to the fifth. The Angels have the bottom third of their order coming up, down 3-1.
Enjoy better. Call 1-855-1TWC. By the 2014 Camry at your Toyota dealer today, we make it easy. And by AT&T Uverse TV, mobilizing your world.
Halos down 3-1 here at the top of the fifth inning at Fenway Park. This is game 3 of a 4-game series. The Boston skyline in the distance. Hey, Buchholz back to work. 3 strikeouts. No walks, 3 hits allowed. A lot of loud outs, too, for the Angels. So maybe get something going here against the right-hander. So in his last start against the Angels, so gave up 3 runs on 6 hits and struck out 8 in 8 innings. No decision. Ibar looks at a strike.
Tell you what, David Freese is crushing the baseball. That last out he made, even the last out in dead center field yesterday, would have been a home run for Freese. He's really starting to pick it up. He's moved up in the batting order now.
Eric reaching for that one in the hole here at 0-2. He grounded out to Pedroia in the second, so he's 0-for-1.
You'd love to see David Freese come back up again soon in an RBI situation, the way he's swinging the bat.
So down the line foul.
Well, this club has been resilient this entire season. Still part of this game right now. It's down 3-1.
High net on deck, then Efrain Navarro. Eric still has not been able to get it going in the proverbial second half. Kind of feeling for the baseball all of a sudden.
He's really had a tough time with Buchholz in his entire career. It is 3 for 29.
One ball, 2 strikes. See the movement on that pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. And a full count.
Trying to be perfect with the fastball in, is missed. Now 3 in a row since being ahead of the count 0-2. For that base runner, bringing Iannetta to the place the way he has swung the bat of late. He's been a doubles machine.
Payoff on the way. Tapper at the plate. Going back outside now. 3-2, line to left. A base hit. Cespedes over to try to cut it off. Does so. And Ibar will stop at first. A leadoff single. First time the Angels have had their leadoff man reach.
Well, it's a good sign in this game. Josh Hamilton, who came in against Buchholz 2 for 22 with a double off the wall. Ibar is 3 for 29 against Buchholz. It's a very good pitch the other way for a single. Some good at bats, especially the last couple of innings now against Buchholz.
Iannetta strikeout victim his first time up. 0 for 1. Takes a strike. First last night had a couple of doubles, 2 for 3. So picked up an RBI and raised his batting average to 270. Now with 21 doubles on the season. Evens up the count. Iannetta with 10 doubles since the All-Star break. 23 games.
Batting average up to 270 coming into this game. Now 269 with his out in the first at bat.
Two balls, 1 strike.
Well, doesn't it appear now Buchholz is starting to slow down the pace right now. Not real confident in what pitch he's going to throw. Some good base hits and even loud outs against you will change that positive thought process.
Good hit, run count if you wanted to try to start something going. Good lead for Ibar at first base. Doesn't go, and that's a ball. 3-1. Navarro on deck. Here comes the 3-1. That was a strike on the corner, full count.
Borderline strike too, just touching the outside corner. You wonder if Ibar is going to be going on this 3-2 count. Chris Inetta, a very good eye.
Quick throw over. Eric back in there.
Buchholz 7 career pickoffs. Not easy to steal against. 4 stolen bases in 8 attempts.
Boston with 3 solo runs the first 3 innings. The Angels got one back in the 4th. Leadoff man on board. Eric doesn't go. The 3-2 is ball 4. So the first 2 now have reached. That's the first free pass issued by Buchholz.
Now you have a tough decision if you're Mike Scioscia. You got Efrain Navarro coming up here, the number 9 hitter. First and second, no outs. You square around and give up an out to advance the runners, knowing that you've had to go into your bullpen a lot earlier than normal. Or does he sit back and look for that big inning? Tough decision for Mike Scioscia.
Unfortunately for the Angels, that big inning's been virtually non-existent since the All-Star break. But I get what you're saying. I mean, the bullpen has been taxed. Now you've got Rasmus out there who's gone 2 1/3 so far. Probably squeeze maybe 2 more innings out of him. That's what you're hoping for anyway. Top of the order, and Cole Calhoun on deck. Navarro, no sacrifices this year. Oh, 2.
Ran a cut fastball in on his hands.
And the dirt blocked by Ross.
Ross did a very nice job as far as bouncing out of that catching position to keep Eric Ibar at second base. Split finger fastball in the dirt. He kept his eye on Ibar all the way through as he tried to follow that baseball. Solid job by Ross.
We had told that Garrett Richards left the game with a left knee patellar injury. The extent of the injury still not known. Zephyr fouls this one back, so that's the word we've just received. So keep him in your thoughts. If further word comes down, we will certainly pass it along. Two on and nobody out here in the 5th. Navarro fouls it back. Stay inside with a 92-mile-per-hour fastball.
Boy, today during batting practice, Navarro hit the ball extremely well to left center field. We haven't seen that swing from him in a while.
And this one pulled into right field. That'll get down for a base hit. Ibar had to hold up because of the flight of the baseball and where Nava was playing. So he advanced to third. Efren with a base hit. Bases loaded with nobody out here to start this 5th inning.
Another pretty good at bat against Buchholz. Up the head of the bat, all speed, and a good swing for Navarro. That was the answer to that question. Yes, swing away to potentially put yourself in position for a big inning. Now the need for Cole Calhoun to do what he's been doing, coming up with a clutch hit.
Cole tonight a strikeout of the first, a line out to Bogarts, the shortstop, in the third. Field back at double play depth with nobody out. Cole cuts through the first one. It's 0-1.
A little cut fastball, though it does look like it's a slider. It's in between a cut fastball and a slider that Buchholz throws.
Oh, 1 inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Great opportunity for the Angels here to get back into this one. Down by 2. Ibar led off this 5th inning. Falling behind 0-2. Got to 3-2. Single to left. And then a walk with the ball. Now with the base hit to load him up. Two balls, 1 strike.
Now Buchholz fighting it, overthrowing, trying to force that fastball inside. Mike Trout on deck.
Three and 1 now.
I was watching a game about a couple weeks ago for Buchholz in the 5th inning, had a significant lead against the Yankees, but all of a sudden couldn't find the strike zone. Seems to be eluding him now in this inning as John Farrell looking on.
Pulled foul. So a full count with nobody out and Trout on deck. Ibar third, Ident at second, Navarro at first. Here's the payoff, and he walked in a run. 3-2 Boston. As Calhoun will pick up the RBI, his 42nd.
Oh, he's so patient at the plate, Cole. Doesn't really expand his zone, looking for a spot. Did not chase that pitch in the dirt. Picks up the walk and an RBI.
Second walk of the inning by Buchholz. And it looks there's some scrambling going on in the Red Sox bullpen.
Juan Nieves out to talk to Buchholz. All of a sudden, a lot of pitches thrown for Buchholz, especially in this inning.
Burke Badenhoff. Looks like he's going to start loosening now. 3-2 Boston, bases still loaded and nobody out. Trout at the plate. Mike struck out of the first and drove one out to center field. Betts caught on the warning track. Going off speed. It's in there for a strike. 3 for 10 of this series. Here comes the 0-1. This is Sky to shallow right. Pedroia going out. Nava comes in, calls for it, and now it falls in there. The throw goes to second. Bogaerts gets the force out of Calhoun. The run scores, and we're tied up.
Boy, a break on that one. As Nava caught off Pedroia, he's going back thinking he's going to make a play, but when you're called off, you get out of the way as a second baseman. Just that slight hesitation. A good play by Nava to be able to react even though the ball was off his leg, and looks up to see there's still a play at second base. There's nothing really that Cole Calhoun could do about that.
So a 3-3 tie here in the 5th. Runners at first and third. 1 out, and Albert up. 0 for 2 tonight. A couple of fly ball outs. Quick throw to first. Trout does get credited with an RBI. It's his 89th. Reaching on the fielder's choice. This is line to right, a base hit. Navarro will come in to score. Trout around second. He'll head to third. And the Angels have themselves a 4-3 lead. Pujols will take the extra base.
Great base running by Albert Pujols. Well, he read that throw in there, and not the commitment behind the throw. And then Albert gets into scoring position himself, which is huge, considering you have 2 now for Josh Hamilton at the plate. It's another good swing by Albert Pujols, and he's been using the entire field. And Nava cuts it off. He's basically just looking to get that baseball into it. A cutoff man with Trout's speed going quickly around third base.
Here's Hamilton, who doubled his last time up. He lifts one out to center. Not hit very deep. Mookie Betts is there. Trout at third base. Tags. He's coming home. Here comes a throw from Betts. Trout is safe at the plate.
That's some serious speed.
5-3 Angels.
There's no one happier than Josh Hamilton when you have Mike Trout at third base. And look at those high fives in that dugout. And that's not deep at all, but Betts, a former middle infielder, second baseman, comes behind that baseball well as far as charging the throw, accurate throw, but Trout too fast, foot on the plate before the tag is applied.
Red Sox looking to appeal the play at third base. And the call is safe.
And that's why, Victor, I was thinking in terms of Mike Scioscia about Navarro not giving up and out in this ballpark, trying to expand the lead. I think that was the right decision by Mike Scioscia, allowing Navarro to swing, and it paid off.
There's Kendrick. Takes outside. 5-3 Angels, a 4-run 5th inning. Albert standing at third base and 2 outs now. Hamilton picks up his 36th run batted in. Now he takes upstairs 2-0. Kendrick 1 for 2, an RBI single in the 4th.
And significant that Albert got the third base too, especially how Buchholz is wavering right now as far as command. If there was one in the dirt, Albert can score that 6th run of the game. 6 wild pitches on the season for Buchholz.
The Angels have Mike Bourne working in the pen now. Howie bounces one to the right side. Pedroia goes off his glove. 6-3 Angels as Pujols will score.
Boy,
Like a little indecision there for Pedroia, whether he stands up or goes for that sliding dive.
I was going to say the exact same thing. And credit Albert Pujols for that run. His great base running, not only to score on that one, obviously, but to get to second base on the throw in from Nava and then go to third on the throw home. Caught in between, sliding or fielding that ball standing up for Pedroia. But still would have been a tough play anyhow, even if he makes the play. Well, it's good to see that offense come to life here in the fifth.
Second RBI for Kendrick in the ballgame. He takes off, pitches upstairs, a throw down, not in time. So Howie picks up a stolen base.
Yeah, he stole that one on Buchholz. He was basically running before the throw was delivered to home.
13th stolen base of the year for Kendrick.
He's one away from his career high. He did it 3 times at 14. But a huge jump.
Outside. They called that first pitch a strike. So it's 1-1. Two and one now. Freeze 1 for 2 with a single to center. And a line out to center as well. Chopper towards second. Pedroia on 2 hops has it. And the top of the fifth is in the books. Buchholz threw 38 pitches, and the Angels strike for 5. We'll head to the bottom of the fifth. 6-3 Angels. Game 3 of a 4-game series. Angels lead at 6-3. If you weren't with us earlier tonight in the second inning, Jered Richards leaving on a stretcher with a patellar injury. No further extent or explanation has been given to us. This is a tweet from the Red Sox themselves. Thoughts and prayers go out to Angels pitcher Jered Richards. Scared to see anyone go down like that, and there's no question about that. And the Angels obviously feeling the pain of the loss of Jered Richards. The game continues to be played, and certainly they figured it out against Clay Buchholz in that 5th inning, striking for 5 runs and taking the lead here. And Mike Scioscia's gone to the bullpen, and Nice job by Corey Rasmus for 2 1/3, allowing 1 run. That was on the Ortiz home run. It's Mike Moore on the relief now.
I see the Red Sox family. We talked about the fraternity of baseball players throwing that tweet out for Garrett Richards and the Angels.
2, 3, and 4 for Boston here in the 5th. Pedroia looks at a strike. Horn was loosening last night, but did not get into the game in the 9th inning because of the back-to-back doubles with 2 outs. It put the Angels up 4-3. That's why Street came in to close it out. Swing and a miss on the off-speed, and it's 0-2.
That's that good changeup, but he has that cut action on this changeup. The right-handed batters and runs down and away against left-handed batters.
Mike did pitch in the opening game of the series on Monday. Went 2/3 of an inning, allowed a hit, issued 1 walk. 0-2. Late on that fastball. Pedroia tonight 1 for 2, a single in the first, struck out in the second. Ortiz on deck. Tapper just got a piece of it to keep his at-bat alive. Corey Rasmus 2 1/3 innings. 1 hit, that was the home run to Ortiz. 1 run. 1 strikeout and no walks. Rasmus threw 32 pitches. That pitch misses up and in.
Well, Corey Rasmus has done a very good job. He's been put in some tough situations. Had a warm up on the game mound here tonight. Did a very solid job again for Mike Scioscia.
This one yanked foul. Just got a piece of it again. 8 pitches so far in this plate appearance. Pedroia saw Morin on Monday. Grounded into the inning-ending double play. That was a big 2 outs that Michael picked up. Finish off that 6th inning for C.J. Wilson. Swing and a miss. Down goes Pedroia. There's the first out of the 5th.
Got him out with that slider. Pedroia pulled off on the pitch, unable to make contact. Tough pitches during the course of that sequence against Pedroia. Finally finished him off with a good slider. It was interesting watching that conversation in the dugout between Mike Scioscia and Mike Butcher as Albert talks to Morin at this point. He's trying to figure out how they're going to be able to mix and match the rest of this game with the bullpen. Been worked a lot of late for Mike Scioscia. Fernando Salas has thrown a lot of pitches, threw the ball well. Asked him today how he felt. He says, I feel great. I'm ready to go.
It's all hands on deck. As Ortiz looks at a strike. 2 for 2 tonight with a single in the first, the home run in the 3rd inning. 30th of the year, now at 8 straight 30 or more home runs. Tying with Ted Williams. Most consecutive 30-plus home run seasons. jumped on that first pitch from Rasmus leading off the third.
He's had a big series so far. So that's 6 for 8 for Ortiz. And in this game, 268 career with 29 home runs and 85 RBI versus the Angels.
The Angels kind of kept him in check in the 3-game set at the Big A. Angels losing 2 of 3 at home. But, he's come out here and swung the bat well against the Angels. First 2+ games. Full count now. Cespedes on deck.
I wonder if we'll go fastball or we come back with his changeup now against Ortiz.
The lesser of two evils. Got him to swing at the off-speed stuff.
It's 74 miles an hour. That wasn't his normal changeup to a lefty, though. That had cut action on the inner half. Usually he'll run that changeup and he'll go down and away against the left-handed batter.
Another one. So tempting after throwing 2 off-speed pitches like that to think that maybe you could sneak a fastball by him.
If you're going to throw him a fastball, it better be down and away, though. He's going to do a slider instead, try to backdoor the slider.
And this one's out to left. Hit well. Off the wall. Navarro plays the carom. Ortiz slams on the brakes. A long single for the big man.
Well, that was played extremely well by after Navarro in left field.
3-hit game for David Ortiz.
Slider that stayed elevated, and Ortiz goes the other way. Navarro did a nice job knowing he's not going to be able to catch that baseball, got in position to be able to field that and get it in quickly to keep a double play in order.
Are you at a disadvantage throwing that pitch like that after 2 slow pitches?
Yeah, because you've already slowed down the bat. You're going to see an off-speed pitch. That's why if you go fastball down and away, hey, if he hits it off the wall, hey, you tip your cap to him. But he's already timed your speed on your pitch with back-to-back changeup, then followed by a slider.
Cespedes takes up and in. Sac fly in the first inning, picking up his 80th run batted inning. Grounded out to Kendrick into third. Rasmus got to chase a pitch off the plate. Bourne falls behind here. 2 balls and no strikes. Boston with action in their bullpen now. Tommy Lane, lefty, getting ready. Halo's batted around in the 5th inning. We'll have Ibar, Ionetta, and Navarro coming up once we get to the 6th. 1 out, 1 on. Ground ball to short. Ibar feeds Kendrick for 1. Relay back to first and safe at first.
Well, Cespedes got down the line extremely fast. I thought that was going to be a double play for sure. Turned quickly.
Was not hit that hard because of the off-speed pitch and getting it off the end of the bat. No argument from Soch.
He thought about it, and then he looked in at Dino Weeble and said no. But the foot got on the base before the ball went into the glove of Pujols. Yep. Real close, but not worth challenging at this point.
Folks don't talk a whole lot about it as far as Cespedes anymore because of the home run derby and the power that he possesses, but certainly can run and can track down fly balls in the outfield.
He's pretty much as close to 5-tool players you're going to see. Good speed, great power, great throwing arm, can hit for an average, and will hit for a higher average as he gets more consistent.
He's on board with 2 outs. Daniel Nava, the batter.
That sliding glove to protect for that head first slide into second base.
Nava 1 for 2. A single. He reached on the error by Ibar. 2 balls, no strikes, and more importantly, 23 pitches thrown here by Moore in his 5th.
Yeah, like we just talked about it a few minutes ago about Mike Soch and Mike Butcher talking about how they're going to mix and match and piece this together as far as their bullpen. That you would love to be able to see Michael be able to get through this inning and then be able to potentially get another inning. And a lot of pitches thrown here now at 23.
Three and 0. And since coming off the disabled list, Moore has not been as sharp as we saw him prior to his DL stint. And it's a 4-pitch walk.
Confident visit from Mike Butcher.
I'm sure that you're hoping that maybe you can squeeze 2 innings out of him. I know we say that on a nightly basis just because that's what you're trying to do. I know Mike has got his routine with certain guys that they are 1-inning guys, and that is all that they're going to do. But we've seen Mike Moore extended a couple times. We've seen Rasmus go 2 or 3 innings. Fernando Salas has gone multiple innings for the Angels, although he's pitched the last 2 nights. And last night's stuff was not quite as firm as the previous nights for Fernando.
Yeah, you would hope if you're going to get maybe 1 inning out of Fernando, if you even get that opportunity tonight. Kevin Jepson will be available again tonight. He was not available last night.
Kevin got the save on Monday. Grilly's pitched the last 2 games, but not a whole lot of pitches thrown for him. Now Moore has to step off by Chris Iannetta. Cespedes standing at second, Nava at first. 2 outs. You got to be careful with Kelly Johnson. The batting average may not look it, but he still has some pop in his bat. 1 for 2 tonight. Single with a run scored. Takes inside. We talk so much about the changeup for Moore that he lost it is the fact that he's got a decent little fastball and more times than not can locate that pitch. Off speed is low. It's 2-1 now.
Yeah, he can spot that 90-94 range.
The slider's been the one that's been inconsistent for him since coming back.
Yeah, it gets a little bit flat for him. Instead of that sharp little break downward, it's more of a lateral movement on the slider, which goes to the bigger part of the bat.
The 2-1. 3 balls and a strike now. Now you're flirting with disaster here. Xander Bogaerts, the shortstop, on deck. This one's out to left. Navarro's there, and he'll make the catch. The inning is over. 5 complete. The Angels have the bottom third of their order coming up 6-3.
David Ortiz, his 30th home run, given at that point the Red Sox a 3-0 lead, but the offense gets right back in the game after being down 3-1. A 5-run 5th inning, capped off by a good approach and swing from Albert Pujols. Base hit down the right field line, scoring Navarro. Some great swings in that inning for 5 runs scored as the Angels lead this one 6-3 here in the top of the 6th.
Clay Buchholz back out there to start the 6th inning. Although action continues, that's Tommy Lane, the left-hander for Boston in their bullpen. 83 pitches, 5 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs, all earned. Ibar led off the 5th inning with a base hit. And he'll look at the strike. Eric 1 for 2. Angels with 6 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. They've stranded 3 base runners. Boston 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors. They've left 6 on. No balls, 2 strikes. Bouncer to the right side. Johnson beats Buchholz, and there's the first out of the 6th.
They ran that fastball inside on Ibar. Who got it all started that last inning with a very good at bat against Buchholz.
Net 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk.
Look at our Hyundai key for this game. Don't look back. An opportunity, especially when you score 5 runs, to keep looking for that fastball and don't miss it and regret it when you have an opportunity to drive the baseball.
Fouled off the leg. A 1-2 count now. 89 pitches for Buchholz. Chris given the opportunity to shake that one off. Mike Winters went around and dusted off home plate. Oakland lost earlier today to the Mets 8-5. Seattle lost to the Phillies. As Chris chases the off-speed pitch, 2 outs. 4th strikeout of the night.
Whenever Navarro had a very good at bat last inning, also line drive in the right field.
Left fielder tonight. 1 for 2 games so far. Other scores around the American League. Cleveland leading Minnesota 3-0 in the 5th. Baltimore leading the White Sox 3-2. Baltimore now with an 8.5 game lead at the start of the day in the East. The Yankees are losing to Houston 5-2. Baltimore hangs on. You're talking about a 9.5 game lead.
Their pitching staff has certainly been impressive, Baltimore, especially their bullpen. A lot of close late wins.
1 ball, 2 strikes. I take that back. New York would be at 9.5. Toronto would remain at 9-backs to say 1 today, 9-5. Tigers shutting out the Rays 6-0. Royals are at Colorado later. This one pulled foul. Here it's 6-3 Angels. A 5-run 5th inning. Now the Salas getting ready. Bottom 3rd of the order coming up for Boston. Bogarts, Betts, and Ross. So 2. I talked to Fernando today, asking him basically, did he feel tired yesterday because his stuff wasn't as crisp as the night before? And he said, feel tired. He just felt that his fastball had a really good downward plane on Monday. So you pick up a little giddy up on that. Whereas yesterday he kind of was pushing that fastball a little bit. Things were up, but he still managed to get through that as the Angels go down in order here the 6th. Well, to the bottom of the inning. Salas will be coming on to relief with the Angels leading it.
They've made a pitching change. Fernando Salas on in relief. They're in and out. Who's in, who's out. He takes over for Mike Moore, who went 1 inning. 1 hit, 1 strikeout, 1 walk for Moore. No damage. New left fielder too, Colin Cowgill. Over in left for Efren Navarro. Salas last night, 1 inning, 2 strikeouts. Oh, 2 count on Bogarts, the shortstop, who walked in the second, hit a fly ball to left in the third.
Well, he's locating that fastball extremely well, Fernando Salas.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Bogarts, 1 down. Tonight's game being powered by Energy Upgrade California. Manage energy and help California stay golden. Visit energyupgradeca.org. One out, nobody on. Mookie Betts, the center fielder. He'll look at a strike.
Boy, it's interesting today when I was talking to Fernando, and Dina Weeble was saying right now Fernando has that invisible fastball. He hides it so well behind his body. Hitters aren't able to track that as well. He's able to throw his changeup and now his slider consistently for strikes. And then you paint at 91. See that little smiley? That's an invisible fastball.
Betts is 0 for 2 tonight. This one's lined back up the middle. Trying to go with another fastball there.
A little bit.
Youngster spins it back around.
A little bit more of the plate on that one, though.
So man on, Betts with good speed stands at first base. Dave Ross, catcher, will step up. He singled home a run in the second, line down softly to Eric Ivor in the fourth. Ross fouls this one back. It's an 0-1 count. Gets that fastball up, ready?
He's very aggressive on the fastball up. He even chased earlier in that second at bat. Rule of thumb is left-handed batters like fastball down, right-handed batters like a fastball upstairs.
Watch out. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Ahead of the count again at 1-2.
We're 10 pitches thrown for Fernando, 9 strikes.
He will swing at that high fastball. There's no question.
A little bit better velo tonight from Salas than last night. All things considered, third straight night pitching for him. Betts over at first base. That's a wild pitch. Overthrown breaking ball. Makes the double play out of order. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes now.
Chris tried to backhand that slider. You got to turn your glove around the other way and try to keep your shoulders level. Hard slider well off the plate.
Yeah, the odds are a guy with Betts' speed is probably going to read ball in the dirt and probably break, but you got to give yourself an opportunity there to square up the shoulders.
Yeah, if you keep it in front, he may indeed not go.
Time was called. 2 balls, 2 strikes now with 1 out here in the 6th. There's been pretty much stress in every inning for the Angels so far, except the 4th, which Rasmus had a 1-2-3 frame. This was lifted on the first base side. Playable for Albert. 2 down. Time now for the AT fan photo of the game. Remember to tweet us your photos using hashtag WestFanPhoto. Your photo could be shown in an upcoming game broadcast. Tonight's picture is brought to you by Elizabeth. Elizabeth, we thank you for the picture as always. Keep sending them in. Hashtag WestFanPhoto. Like we said, could be an upcoming game broadcast. Brock Holt steps to the plate. Betts at second. 2 outs here in the 6th. The 6-3 Angels lead. Brock Holt tonight 0 for 3. Lined out softly his last time up to Pujols. Holt tonight getting to start at third base. Kid has played everywhere for Boston. Taps out with foul. It's a 1 ball, 1 strike. 8 games at first, 6 at second, 34 at third, 5 at short, 8 at left, 10 at center, and 34 in right field.
The way he works counts and has the high socks kind of reminds you a little bit of Brett Gardner of the Yankees.
Just because of the high socks?
I missed the way he approaches the plate. Hands exactly the same height he has the hands.
1-1. Foul back 1-2. Texas native. Stephenville, Texas. He's born in Fort Worth at the Rice University. One, 2, bouncer toward first. Pujols has it, feeds Salas, and the inning is over. Nice job by Fernando Salas.
That's well played by Pujols. Good feed to Fernando covering the base. very good outfielder is to be able to make a play like this, going back to the wall. Cole Calhoun with some hops. An outstanding play, preventing a 3-run home run, and high fives coming back into the dugout for Cole Calhoun. What an outstanding play. Followed that very next play with an RBI single at the top of the inning.
New pitcher on a relief for the Boston Red Sox, right-hander Burke Badenhop comes into the game. 56th game, 0-2 record at a 2.50 ERA. And he'll face the top of the order, Calhoun, Trout, and Pujols.
Badenhop fastball is 88 to 92. He tries to sink it, slider, changeup. But it's 1 home run allowed in 57 2/3 innings pitched. Tells you how effective that sinker is.
Buchholz tonight, 6 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs all earned, 5 strikeouts and 2 walks. Calhoun 0 for 2, but did have a bases loaded walk in the 5th. This one's down the right field line. That's going to get down for a base hit and more. Off the wall, Nava plays it cleanly, and it's a leadoff double for Cole Calhoun, his 24th of the year.
Well, it's the time of the game where you want to keep adding on. That's a good start to this inning for Cole and the Angels right down the line. Scoring position right away for Mike Trout, 24th double. Give him 39 extra base hits. Pitch out over the plate, turns on it right down the right field line for Calhoun. Showed that great glove work he performed last night, but he's also been swinging the bat extremely hot for the Halos.
Trout tonight 0 for 3. Takes outside, did reach on a fielder's choice, and picked up an RBI in the 5th inning. His 89th run batted in. David Ortiz leads baseball now with 93 after the home run in the 3rd inning. Good fastball for a strike. 1-1. Badenhop, originally 19th round pick in 05 by the Detroit Tigers. He was part of the package, went to Florida in the Miguel Cabrera trade back in 07. He's pitched for the Rays, the Brewers, and now the Red Sox. Two one. Chopper. And Pedroia's got it. 1 down. Calhoun advances over to 3rd. Take a look at the in-game box score presented by Infinity. Both a hit game for Howie Kendrick. Kendrick's also picked up a couple of runs batted in. Overall, the Angels with 8 hits in the ballgame. Cowgill just took over in left field for Efren Navarro, so he's yet to have a plate appearance. Efren finished 1 for 3. So infield is in. Pujols at the plate. Calhoun standing at 3rd. Albert takes outside. 1 for 3 game for Albert. Picked up his 77th run batted in with a base hit into right field of the 5th. Two 2-0. I just went back and looked at that trade. Players involved in the Cabrera deal. That worked out well for the Tigers.
Oh, yeah.
Outside, 3 balls, no strikes.
I feel like see Albert attack here with a pitch. If he gets a pitch, he can drive on a 3-0 count here.
It's kind of weird. In the middle.
Yeah, in a stretch position. Pedroia ran over on the shortstop side and threw off Badenhop. Fortunately enough, he didn't balk. A lot of times you'll do that. You'll just break your hands, ball in the glove, and you have to step off first.
3 balls, 1 strike. In case you're wondering, it was Badenhop, minor leaguer named Dallas Traherne, Frankie De La Cruz, Cameron Maven, Andrew Miller, the big lefty, and Mike Rebello, Miguel Cabrera, and Dontrell Willis. Miller at the time was a starter. Became a very effective reliever, especially with Boston. That is ball 4. So Hamilton will bat here with runners at first and third and 1 out. Josh 1 for 2. Line down to Johnson, the first baseman in the second inning. Doubled off the monster in the 4th and scored. Then had a sac fly in the 5th inning. That scored Mike Trout from third.
So that speed for Mike Trout. They got him the sac fly.
36th run batted in. Field back at double play depth. Bogart's a shortstop, almost playing up the middle. First one's in for a strike. Does a nice job for the most part keeping pitches down. Calhoun over at third base, lead off double, moved to third on the ground out by Trout, and Albert just worked the one.
That's why you see him with only 1 home run allowed, because he keeps the ball down so well.
Works quickly too. Not waste a whole lot of time. 6-3 Angels here in the 7th, looking for more. Lays off. Two and 1 now. Josh getting a start tonight out at center field. Trout serving as a DH. The off-speed pitch there. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. That one. It's one of those that you can classify that as a mistake. Up and a little bit in.
It's a pitch where you, as a hitter, that's what you're looking for. That way it allows you to hit the ball deep enough in the outfield to bring home that 7th run. See if Josh can have that same approach, especially that second at bat when he hit that rocket off the green monster in left center field.
That was off of Buchholz. And he drives this one out to right. Nava moving back on it, still going back, and he will reach up and make the catch. Calhoun easily comes in to score. 7-3 Angels. Hamilton picks up his 2nd RBI of the game.
Boy, starting to get better. You're starting to feel better about the swings from Josh Hamilton. That timing with the toe tap and then through the baseball. Another good quality at bat. 2 sacrifice flies in a row and a double off the wall the other way for Hamilton. Well, he just missed hitting a 3-run home run. But the job is done as far as bringing home that 7th run.
Here's Kendrick, 2 for 3 tonight. 2 singles, 2 runs batted in. He's also picked up a stolen base. He'll look at a strike. Oh, 2. First run allowed by Badenhop since July 28th as against Toronto. Pujols over at first base. Here's the 1-2. This one's driven out toward right center field. Hit well. Nava was shading him toward the foul line. It's Mookie Betts, the center fielder, that cuts across to his left.
That's some coverage. We're used to seeing that from Jackie Bradley Jr., but Betts with some great speed to be able to cut that one off. Great play.
Angels do get a run at 7-3. To 3 Angels. If you're just tuning in to our broadcast and maybe or maybe not heard the injury to Jered Richards in the second inning, a left knee injury, a patellar injury. Nothing more to report other than that. But the question needs to be asked now moving forward, assuming if it is something that he's going to be out a considerable amount of time. Who takes that spot? Here now to look at the Angels starting rotation, and it's a huge spot in the rotation to fill now.
Well, you look at the numbers that Richards has had this season, 13-4 with an ERA 2.61. That is in the American League. That's how impressive. 4 pitchers in the starting rotation, double figures in wins. And Hector Santiago has thrown the ball exceptionally well, although the one-loss record doesn't show it at 3-7, but ERA 3.46. It's going to be a tough decision now if indeed Garrett's out for a length of time, but he's certainly deserved to be in the All-Star game, did not make it, but he's pitched as well as anybody in all of baseball. Hopefully the news will be better tomorrow when we find out more, maybe later tonight for back Jered Richards.
Here in the bottom of the 7th, Kevin Jepson is brought into the ball game. Fernando Salas worked a scoreless 6th inning. Gave up a hit, had 1 strikeout. Kevin pitching in his 62nd game, 0-1 record at 2.22 ERA. Picked up his first save of the year on Monday. And he'll face Pedroia, Ortiz, Cespedes here in the 7th inning, the heart of the Red Sox order.
Well, again, another great job by Fernando Salas. And keep in mind, back in 2011, he had 24 saves for the Cardinals, so he's been in key situation. He's done a great job for Mike Scioscia, as has Kevin Jepson. 2.2122 ERA, 1 save. Power fastball, 95 to 98. Very good slider, change of speed with that well, and a good changeup.
This is a part of the order that Jepson faced in the 9th inning on Monday. Picking up the save. Didn't give up a run. It was on a fielder's choice. Pedroia takes down low. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 for 3 game for Pedroia. A single and a couple of strikeouts. Jepson, the 4th reliever, used tonight. Richards went to inning 2/3 before the injury. Rasmus 2 1/3. Moore and Salas 1 inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well located fastball by Jepson again.
Slider missing away. 2-2 now. David Ortiz on deck. 3-hit game for him. 2 singles and a home run. Chopper towards short. 1 down. Folks, the Angels' wives have put together their annual Player Favorites baskets for an online auction to raise money for the Angels Foundation. The baskets contain autographed game-used items and items for players' hobbies other than baseball. To bid on the baskets or for more info, just log on to angels.com/auctions. So David Ortiz steps up, 2 singles and a home run. We're talking about the series that he had against the Angels. This series, he's 7 for 9. He struggled a couple of weeks ago at the Big A as he looks at his strike. He has a 193 career average at Angel Stadium. 392 against the Angels here at Fenway Park.
That's a huge discrepancy between road and home. Boy, challenged him right after him with a fastball at 96. Now you get a fastball by Ortiz inside if you go above the belt. And you're throwing 96, 98.
Yeah.
That helps.
Down and in?
No.
And Rasmus found that out in the 3rd inning. First pitch swinging was Ortiz, and he got that fastball down and in. And went into the Angels bullpen and right. Breaking ball. He struck out Ortiz on Monday with the changeup. Down and away.
That was an excellent changeup. You would think he might have him set up here now. Tried a changeup. It was elevated this time.
Count still at 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out here, the 7th. Now the 2-2. Oh, a little flare out to left. It's a 4-hit game for Big Poppy. 3 singles and a home run.
The slider was elevated. His punch into left field. Just went with the pitch. Slider. If it's down, he may not be able to hit this ball in the left field because it was elevated, tucked his hands in, and punches that baseball in the left field.
So here's Cespedes, 0 for 2 tonight. He'll look at a strike. Sac fly, ground ball to second, and a fielder's choice for Cespedes. Had the night off last night, although he pinch hit in the 9th inning. Duenas doesn't like the call of that pitch. It's 0-2. Just off the plate. 1-2 down. Red Sox with 9 hits, the Angels with 8. Boston took a 3-0 lead with solo runs each of the first 3 innings tonight. The Angels got one back in the 4th and then batted around in the 5th inning, taking a 5 spot on Clay Buchholz. Take a 6-3 lead. They added a run in the 7th. 2-2.
Like Kevin just overthrowing his slider. That slider up to Ortiz. He hit it base hit in left there a couple times against Cespedes.
How much of that is a product, though, or byproduct, if you will, of the Green Monster? Knowing that 310 down the line, you got this big thing out there that you don't want to hang a slider.
Yeah, but this is a time where you throw that hard slider down.
This one ripped into the right field corner. Cole plays the carom perfectly, gets the baseball back in. Ortiz stops at third. A double for Cespedes, his 28th of the year, and all of a sudden, the Red Sox are runners at second and third and 1 away. It's almost like Cespedes was anticipating a fastball.
Boy, after a couple sliders away like that, looking for something out over the plate, and it was another elevated pitch and a level swing. Cespedes hit that ball hard to right field. 28th double. Played well by Cole Calhoun to get that one in quickly.
Now to the right fielder. Singled, reached on an error, and walked. Going off speed there. Nice pitch. Again, nothing easy for an Angels pitcher tonight. With the exception of that 4th inning. That was Rasmus.
Quick on the changeup. Front shoulder flew open. Forces you as a pitcher when you're throwing a changeup to drag your arm back. Well, that pitch was that far off the outside corner for Jepsen.
One ball, one strike with 1 out. Nava cuts through that one, 1-2.
That's why a changeup is so important. Even though it wasn't a very good one for Jepsen, it still allowed that fastball, the very next pitch, to get by a fastball hitter because of differential in speeds.
Now the 1-2. Back to the off-speed pitch. Both Oakland and Seattle have lost, and the Angels with an opportunity to extend their lead in the West. Still a lot of work to be done. One out here in the 7th. That was on that fastball.
And that one at 97 was still on that fastball.
Two balls, two strikes. Guide that changeup.
That's twice in this at bat against Nava. We haven't seen that a lot from Kevin this season. He's been very confident with this changeup. You mentioned how he got Big Poppy to swing and miss on that on Monday night.
22 pitches thrown by Jepson so far. 14 have been strikes. A single to left with one out by Ortiz. The double into the right field corner by Cespedes. Runners at second and third. And a full count. Very difficult to get out big league hitters in crucial situations when you're a one-trick pony. And right now, that's what Kevin is with the fastball. Able to really throw the changeup with a slider effectively. Kelly Johnson, the first baseman's on deck. 7-3 Angels here in the 7th. Three-two popped up. Left field, Cal Gill is there. Not very deep. Ortiz tags and will be stopped. 2 down.
A smart decision by Ortiz not to go. Cal Gill got around that baseball exceptionally well. Not real deep in left field. Eric Ibar said, hey, good decision. Stay where you're at. But Cal Gill gets behind the baseball, then he has momentum going forward, and then a perfect laser beam throw to the plate.
So 2 outs, runners remain at second and third, and here's Kelly Johnson. Johnson tonight 1 for 3, singled and scored in the second inning. Last time up was the 5th. He hit a fly ball to left with Michael Moore on the mound. At that point, Johnson had a man in scoring position. That was Cespedes. Foul tipped into the bit. 0-2. 0-2 on the way.
Thankfully, everyone looks like they're okay.
A gaggle of Angel fans there. Johnson strikes out swinging, and Jepson gets out of it. 7 on the books, 7-3 Angels. Insurance. Get a fast free quote at mercuryinsurance.com today and see how much you can save. By Jack in the Box and Jack's Spicy Chicken Club Combo for just $4.99 plus tax. And by the Sonata Premier Event at your Hyundai dealer now through September 2nd. Top of the 8th inning. Halos up by the score of 7-3. And here in the 8th, the Angels will set up Freese, Ibar, and Iannetta. New pitcher on the mound for Boston. It's Edward Mojica. Takes over for Burke Badenhop, who allowed a run in his 1 inning of relief.
And Mojica fastball is 89-93. Slider, split finger fastball.
Freese tonight 1 for 3. Single back in the second. '49th game for Mojica. 2-4 record, a 4.40 ERA. 54 hits in 45 innings of work. On the corner, 1-2. Freese fouls it back.
I'll tell you what, David Freese is having some good swings of late. Fouled straight back up above Terry Smith, Mark Langston.
The birthday boy, Mark Langston.
Happy birthday to Mark Langston. He's ready to field that ball. Gold Glover.
No chance. Terry, you're on your own. Swing and a miss. 1 down. Hey, folks, on Tuesday, the Angels will host the Miami Marlins at 7:05. Fans in attendance will receive an Angels scratcher and a chance to win great prizes like party suite, autographed merchandise, team store discounts, and more. Purchase your tickets today at the Angels Stadium ticket office or by logging on at angels.com.
Chance to see Giancarlo Stanton in the running for the MVP in the National League.
You keep saying that. With every home run that he hits.
It's big home runs. Played a walk-off home run. It was yesterday's game.
Ibar cuts through the first one. Marlins at the start of the day, a game over 500, but they lost today, so they are at 63 and 63. 2.5 back of that second wild card spot in the National League. This one Sky to shallow left. Bogart's backpedaling out and makes the catch for round number 2. National League wild card right now. St. Louis has a number 1 spot. San Francisco and Atlanta. Percentage points at 524 winning percentage. This is all at the start of the day. Or in that second spot. Then you've got Pittsburgh 2 back. Miami 2.5.
Pittsburgh's really struggling. Although they did finally win tonight. They had lost 7 in a row.
As we expected, Joe Smith getting ready. Bottom third of the order coming up for Boston. Check swing foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Identic, a couple of strikeouts and a walk. He's also scored a run. Over 2. Mojica pretty much lives on the outside part of the plate against right-handed batters. If he goes inside, it's almost a mistake.
More than likely will end up being the split finger fastball that runs inside. Otherwise, he's staying away.
Colin Cowgill on deck. Took over for Effer Navarro the 6th inning in left field. This one fouled back. On the outside corner, the Angels go down in order. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. It is still 7-3 Angels. 3 of a 4-game series against the Red Sox. Take a look at our Honda upcoming schedule. One more here in Boston. That is a night game tomorrow before heading back west. 3-game series at the Coliseum against the Athletics beginning on Friday.
3 at home against Miami, then a 4-game set against Oakland at home.
On Friday, it'll be Sonny Gray going for Oakland, and Hector Santiago scheduled to get that start. New pitcher on in relief, Joe Smith. 62nd game for him, 5-1 record at 2.09 ERA. Takes over Kevin Jepsen. Joe pitched a scoreless inning last night. John McDonald is the new third baseman, taking over for David Freese. Bogarts, Betts, and Ross for Boston here at the 8th. Bogarts tonight, a walk, a fly to left, and a strikeout. 0 for 2. Jepsen went 1 inning, 2 hits, 1 strikeout. 2 balls, no strikes. Jepsen threw 28 pitches that 7th inning.
Joe Smith's 62nd game. Kevin Jepsen's 62nd game. These guys always talk about that as far as how many games they think they're going to get in there by the end of the season. Quite a few.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Had the feeling that, especially in that 4th inning, the Angels down 1 run. It was a 2-out double by Hamilton off the monster, and Kendrick brought him home. Even the outs were loud. He would start swinging the bats against Buchholz. Chopper toward third. McDonald has to hurry. Boy, that ball took a weird hop, and it's thrown away, and it goes into the dugout. It goes an error. The ball redirected at the last minute.
It might end up being a base hit and an error on that play. Real tough play for McDonald coming in on the base, especially with 2 strikes. Playing back, and then the redirection. He's tried to be able to maintain enough balance to throw the ball to first base. He's coming in on the baseball, then it checks and goes the other way because there's spin on the baseball.
It is ruled a hit and an error. 10th hit of the night. And for John McDonald, his 3rd error of the season. Mookie Betts a 1 for 3 games, singled in the 6th. But kind of getting back to the whole Buchholz situation. All of a sudden the Angels offense down 3-1. Erupted in the 5th inning. This guy's passing the baton. Chopper towards second. Kendrick got it. 1 down. Bogarts over to third.
Yeah, there's some good swings in that 5th inning for the Halos. Started with a very good at bat for Eric Ivar, who had struggled in his career against Buchholz. Then Iannetta worked a walk, and then a big base hit by Navarro, and then it started from there. Cole Calhoun worked a walk. It all started with that man right there, Eric Ivar. Very good at bat in the 5th inning.
David Ross, the catcher, has had a 1-for-3 game. Picked up a single and an RBI in the second. 13th run batted in this year. This one's lined to first, 2 down.
Ran in on him enough, and again, he likes fastballs that are up. Jammed on that, and a little flare right to Albert Pujols.
Craig Breslow, the lefty, getting ready for the 9th inning. The Angels have Calgill, Calhoun, and Trout due up. Brock Holt, an 0-for-4 game. Way inside. Nice play by Chris Iannetta. Not an easy pitch to deal with there.
Especially going around and behind the left-handed batter.
This one down toward shallow left, toward the foul line. Calgill is there. 3rd out of the inning. We'll head to the 9th here at Fenway Park. Angels maintaining their 7-3 lead.
In the 9th, let's take a look at our Arco top tier play of the game. 5th inning, Albert Pujols, just a quality swing to right field, going the other way, using the entire field. And then a good base run to get into scoring position by himself there, and eventually scored on a sac fly. But Albert Pujols doing it all here tonight, defensively and with the bat and running well.
New pitcher on for Boston here in the 9th inning. Craig Breslow, the veteran lefty, takes over on the mound for Edward Mujica, pitching in his 48th game, 2-4 record, a 5 ERA. And he'll be facing 9-1-2. Colin Calgill will step up for his first plate appearance. Cole Calhoun, followed by Mike Trout.
Breslow fastball is 86 to 90. So a slider, curve, changeup.
Calgill, 274 batting average. It's down a bit. 5 home runs, 17 runs batted in. Alfred Navarro got the start at left field and ended up going 1 for 3 tonight. One. Also a big decision at that point for Mike Scioscia. Vibar and Iannetta reaching to start that 5th inning and down 3-1. 9th place hitter Navarro You know, the easy one is they square around.
I still like that decision. You have to look in terms of a big inning.
Calgill with a base hit to right field to lead off the ninth. Let Efren swing away, and Efren rewarded him with a base hit and eventually scored. After the last out, Angels Live postgame presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers, Patrick O'Neill. Jose Mota will break it all down for you. And there is plenty to break down. The unfortunate injury to Garrett Richards that occurred in the second inning. Plus this team, I guess you could say, picking them up.
Bullpen once again, a lot of work, but very good quality work out of the bullpen and some very good at bats. And going back to what we talked about in the opening, how the role players have really played a big part in this successful run for the Angels this year.
Watch out, that gets away from Ross. Calgill advances to second on the wild pitch. Two balls, no strikes. Houston Street's warming up for the Angels. Non-save situation. Pedroia, Ortiz, and Cespedes due up in the bottom of the ninth. Two to Cole. That is ripped into right center field. Betts got a good jump on it, makes the catch. Calgill gets back to the bag, one down.
Well, even a lot of the outs tonight by the Angels have been hit well. So all you can do as a hitter is square up a baseball, and Calhoun did. He crushed his baseball, but a good read by Betts. And Calgill has to go back to second, but a good swing by Calhoun.
There's Stroud is hitless tonight. Picked up an RBI though in the fifth inning. And he'll look at strike one. Halos tonight 4 for 8 with men in scoring position. Oh, what count on Trout. Calgill standing at second. Oh, 2. 7 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors. Handles it stranded 4. Boston with 3 runs, 11 hits, no errors. They've stranded 10. One ball, 2 strikes. Trout is still yet to homer at Fenway Park.
As well as he's hit too, coming in this game, 444 batting average here, 16 hits.
Almost got one on Monday. That ball just above the 379 mark.
Dented the wall.
This one's fouled back. It's still there.
He's hit that hard.
Calgo leading off this ninth with a base hit to right field. Up to second on the wild pitch. Looks like Breslow and Ross having a hard time. We're together on the right side against Trout here. Strikes out, swinging for round number 2.
Fastball ended up being away. Ross wanted that fastball in, but ended up going away, and he pulled off it. But they pitch to Pujols here and go after Hamilton.
Looks like they will, at least from the outset. Pujols a 1-for-3 game. Walked his last time up.
Oh, he's got good plate coverage right now. He's 17 hits away from 2,500 in his career. With this kind of plate coverage he has right now, he can get there before you know it.
Little dribbler. He's stepping out an infield base hit. Calgill back at third base, and it is an infield base hit for Albert.
Now 16 away. Well, what you do is hope when he's going down the line, he feels okay when he steps on that base. He's smiling.
So a 2-hit game for Pujols. Runners at first and third. 2 outs, and here's Hamilton. A 1-for-2 game for Josh with 2 runs batted in. A couple of sac flies. Just missed a 3-run home run in the 7th. And this one's back up the middle, a base hit.
Oh, he's getting hot now. This is so important to this offense for Josh to get back to where he can be.
8-3 game, the 3 RBI performance for Hamilton.
And the important thing against a left-handed pitcher also went with the pitch. That's twice he's hit a ball hard to that side of the field. That for a base hit. Earlier, a double off the left center field wall.
And the inning continues with Howie Kendrick. Kendrick, a couple of RBIs tonight, 2 for 4. Watch out. 1 ball, 1 strike. First multiple RBI game for Hamilton since July 29th. That was at Baltimore. That was the 3 for 6 game in which he picked up 3 runs batted in. Speed pitch, 1-2. Eight to 3 Angels here in the ninth. Now he fouls it off to the right. Pujols at second and Hamilton at first. Now he strikes out swinging. ninth is in the books. The Angels do tack on a little insurance. We'll head to the bottom of the ninth. 8-3 Angels. Angels on top. Mike Scioscia's handed the ball off to Houston Street. But before we get there, of course, the very difficult news: Jered Richards lost the injury to his knee, a patellar injury. The extent of the injury was still not known. They shared that with us as of yet, but clearly in pain. A delay here, just about 15 minutes or thereabouts. He was carted off the field, and from that point forward, it's been a bullpen game. And what a job this pen has done. At the time, the Angels were down 2-0. They eventually were down 3-0 before battling back and now have themselves an 8-3 lead here in the ninth.
Well, Garrett's teammates really picked him up. And what a shame for Jered Richards, how well he has thrown the baseball this year. So dominant. And to get hurt like that, hopefully not going to be too long for him. But the bullpen, big time picked up the club tonight.
Pedroia, Ortiz, and Cespedes. Pedroia tonight 1 for 4 with a single and a run scored. Houston pitched last night, picked up his 10th save. 1 inning, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts, and a walk. And this just might be a product of piecing it together, even with it not being a safe situation. This one fouled back. It's 1-2. To go ahead and hand the ball off to Houston.
Yeah, for me right now too, it's also so important to be able to win this game, especially where it started from. We just talked about Garrett going down, being down 3-0, and then eventually coming back and take a lead 8-3. So you want to win this game. This is such an important game. Every game is important, but this game in particular, to be able to come back like they have and put it together as a bullpen, you want to finish this one off.
This one out to right. Cole was shading Pedroia that way. 1 down. The Angels looking for their 75th win of the season. Victory tonight would give them a 1.5 game lead over the Oakland Athletics. A 7.5 game lead over the Seattle Mariners, both who lost tonight. Earlier today, Oakland will be off tomorrow. The Angels will play the Red Sox tomorrow night and head off to Oakland. Alex Hassett pinch hitting here for David Ortiz. Ortiz finishes the night going 4 for 4. Hassett called up before the game today. Oh, 2. Jared Richards, an inning and 2/3 because of the injury. Corey Rasmus, 2 1/3. Chopper back to the mound. Houston's got it. 2 down. Then it was Morin, Salas, Jepson, Smith, and now Street trying to close it out.
Right after the game, Jerry Dipoto here too. You're going to probably have to see some arm or two be called up for tomorrow's game.
Matt Shoemaker on the mound tomorrow.
You just need some protection. A lot of innings out of the bullpen in these 3 games here alone in Boston.
Cespedes looks at a strike.
We talked a little bit today on the pregame show about what makes Houston Street so effective. That deception he creates. He starts all the way over on that first base side of the pitching rubber. A lot of movement before he delivers the baseball. Hides the baseball well.
Ahead of the count at 0-2 on Cespedes. Doubled his last time up, a 1-for-3 game. The Red Sox left fielder. Oh, I mentioned Shoemaker getting a start tomorrow. Ruby De La Rosa gets a start for Boston. He threw the ball well against the Angels. His start at the Big A. Here's the 0-2 now. Swing and a miss. Light that baby up, and what a win for the Angels tonight. 8-3 the final.
A great comeback considering one of their very biggest players this season getting hurt in the second inning, and Garrett Richards, but the team comes back. The offense outstanding. A 5-run 5th inning, and the bullpen was unbelievable again today. Offense coming to life. Josh Hamilton starting to swing the bat. 2 big hits, 2 sac flies. Albert Pujols, a big hit. Cole Calhoun solid once again all the way around. Howie Kendrick. But what a big victory for a team victory here tonight for the